Today I am pruning my icebox sugar baby watermelon. It's important to prune watermelon like any other plants in order to maximize the yield and the health of the plant. And here you can see I've got one that I've already pruned. Unlike other melons, watermelon do not have a specific determined length that the vine will grow and then you'll have a fruit. So you need to let the watermelon grow until there is a pollinated fruit on there. And then you want to cut it off just after that fruit. One thing you notice I left is this little curly guy here. The reason why I leave that is because it's obviously not past the fruit, but this is also a great indicator of when the melon is ripe. When this little curly Q dries up, the melon is ready to be harvested and it's at its peak maturity. So this one has been pruned. Let's take a look at one that hasn't been pruned. This vine comes all the way from the plant out here. We're probably looking at 2.5, 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet. It had a fruit set here, but did not get pollinated, so that's going to be aborted. And then it's got another one right here. This plant has several other vines, and actually all the other vines have melons on them, and they're all quite long. Here's a melon here, and that's probably 3 feet away from the plant, and then it's setting another melon here on a different vine here, but we already have a nice sized watermelon here. Then we've got this vine here. It goes all the way across the garden here, keeps on going, and here's another watermelon here, and then here's the end of the growing tip over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just actually going to cut this entire vine off because I don't think we need it, and this plant has plenty of fruit, and so this vine is going to take up too much space here in the box. Here's one of the other vines. Make sure I'm cutting the right end. There's the plant, come down past the melon, and then I'm going to cut this off. And you can see how long this was here. It wasn't very long, but it was putting on another melon. We'll have plenty of melons here, so I'm not worried about reducing my harvest by cutting these short. But I am going to increase the quality of the fruit and the health of the plant by doing this. Here's another vine coming out from the same plant, coming all the way down here. There's a melon, so I'll cut that off down there. Here's the last vine from that plant. You can see it's pretty long, and then we have a nice looking watermelon there. So I'm going to cut it off just about here. So I just cut that off, and now I'm just going to curl this around right here in the box and give that plant plenty of room to get light and water, and there we are. You notice how much more I'm getting out of such a small space. This is only an 18-inch wide box and it's 12 feet long, but I've got a lot of melons in here. This would take up hundreds and hundreds of square feet of garden space if I let them sprawl around on the ground. Now this is what I really like to see. Here's a good sized pollinated watermelon. It's only about a foot away from the base of the plant. And then here, about 6 inches further, is another watermelon. The tendency would be to let this one grow too. You can, but you'll jeopardize the size and the quality of both of these melons. So since Jacob Mittleider recommends only having 1 melon per vine, I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. Because I know I'm not as smart as Jacob Mittleider. I have not been doing this for 50, 60 years. I haven't been to almost 30 countries. I haven't put in probably tens of thousands of garden beds. And so I'm going to sit on the shoulders of giants and use Jacob Mittleider's experience and recommendations. I think the results that I've experienced in the last 18 months indicate that taking his advice is a good move. Now on that same plant, I've got another long vine here, and then finally I've got some fruit. So I'm going to curl this around on the garden bed, cut off the end past the fruit, and I'll let this watermelon grow to the full measure of its creation. I know it may seem like I've cut a lot off, but let's just take a look at what we have in this 12-foot long, 18-inch wide box and see how much we can really produce here. Here we've got 1 melon, 2, 3, nothing on here yet, so I haven't pruned this at all. 4, 5, 6, there's 7, 8, 9, here's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Nothing is growing on this one, so I haven't cut the growing tip off yet. 18, 19, 20, 21. So I have 20 or more watermelon growing in this one small area. That is high yield, high production gardening. This is exactly what I love about the Mittleider gardening method. If you want to garden like your life depends on it, or if you don't have much space to garden, this is a great way to garden. If you don't have a lot of time to garden, just put it in one box. It doesn't have to be very big, and you can see in 12 feet I've got 20 plus watermelon. That's certainly more than my wife and I can eat. Following the 6 laws of plant growth, giving the plant all the light that it needs, proper watering, controlling the temperature, make sure the soil drains well so you have good soil air, giving the plants the proper nutrients, and controlling the competition, including too much competition from itself, you're going to guarantee a great garden. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if you are prepared, ye shall not fear. And if you follow the 6 laws of plant growth and use the Mittleider gardening method, you will have a wonderful, high yield, healthy garden.